What is up, YouTube? You might have forgotten that from my lack of consistent uploads, borderline non-existent YouTube presence, and general disposition of an anti-viewer rhetoric, but I am in fact a YouTuber, which means I have traded myself for a single crumb of e-fame and an even smaller amount of internet money. So what better way than exercise my identity as a YouTuber than capitalizing on the fears about the C virus, a name that I'm giving to a virus that sounds infinitely more menacing than the actual term it was given. But if I apparently mention the name, I risk the YouTube gods that be terminating my entire channel, not because I broke any rules, but because they're apparently understaffed and will make mistakes, according to them. This is the first time they're actually admitting that they make mistakes, and it's actually even more of a reason than they normally give when they terminate channels. And since my whole identity is based on techno-colored horses, we might as well merge the two. So this is my top 10 My Little Pony characters who would survive the C virus. Number 10, Applejack. She most likely would try her hardest to help those in need and who are sick with the virus, disregarding the only true way to help them is to quarantine them into ghettos and burn them down with the cleansing fire. And her being the primary food source in Equestria, she would act as a distribution center for the virus. Her dirty mud pony hooves covering each apple with filth, every crunch made by a pony biting into it akin to that of Gabriel's trumpet sounding off and signaling the end times for Ponyville. And since the virus lives on surfaces for, well, who knows how long, it seems to keep on going up, it's probably going to affect the greater Equestrian region, since she does have a monopoly on apples and other produce. Number 9. Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash would most likely go crazy from the social distancing and self-isolation, and most likely would be amongst the first of the young people to be afflicted with the disease, forgetting that just because the elderly and immunocompromised are the most affected, that she herself can still die from a lack of medical treatment from an already overstressed and understaffed medical industry. Doctors will be forced to play the role of gods, choosing who lives and who dies by receiving medical treatment based on who has the best chances of survival. The doctors will ultimately have to choose younger people, including Rainbow Dash, knowing that they willingly partook in inherently risky practices due to nothing more than their own arrogance, and will have to let the elderly die despite the fact they had no control over being infected or not. Number 8. Twilight. While you might think that Twilight locked in her literal ivory tower would be safe, as she's naturally an introvert, she would most likely die from an unruly population far before she would die from a virus. They would be looking for a reason why their gods have decided to curse them with such suffering, and would naturally fall on blaming the aristocrats who would be least affected and in some cases benefit from the removal of pensioners and those who received government funding. Alicorns are seen as gods and Twilight one ordained by them. But if they are truly gods, then can they not prevent the plague? Then they are not all powerful. Are they able but not willing? Then they are evil. And if they are able and willing, then why is there suffering? If they are neither able nor willing, then can they really be called gods? I would imagine her wings would be ripped from her and probably paraded around in a mocking gesture before she was burned at the stake from the citizens of Ponyville looking to appease whatever force is causing their suffering. At this point, there's really no reason to continue, because even if the C virus is nothing more than an overhyped flu, it's done its damage, more than one could ever really recover from, showing that no matter the label given to a society when faced with even the slightest of hardship, their selfishness and beast-like desires will always come to the forefront. Their hoarding of essential goods, their profiteering off of others' fears, their treatment of and disregard of the safety of their peers, all too apparent. Masks that we wear to hide our hideous true faces lay broken, shattered, only revealing the true grotesque nature of the person beneath it. We are no better than the animals in how we act, except we have the ability to know what we do is wrong. We just don't care. Despite all our scientific and social advances, we never truly evolved. We found things to placate and exercise our more carnal desires through, but from video games to music, but those are treatments for the symptom of humanity, but not a cure for what it truly is. Perhaps there is no need for one. Perhaps like you would not teach a lion that it's bad to kill a gazelle, you wouldn't teach the humans that it is bad for them to act in such a brutish manner. Perhaps it is simply asking too much of us to be kind, to be more than what we are, which is savage, truly selfish beings that only pretend to have kindness, to have loyalty. That when the structure of society is removed, when we no longer have a guarantee of goods, of survival, of freedom, of rights, we naturally fall into chaos. And number 1, Sunset Shimmer. Being the best horse, knowing that even in a scenario where the government fails even temporarily, she would need to already have supplies ready so that she can avoid going to stores and mass panic. So she already had supplies at her house in case of a scenario just like this, including a small travel bag that had all kinds of essential things from medicine to food to clean drinking water. She will be amongst the best and most well-off individuals, whether this virus takes out society or not. And that's gonna do it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're, still here and alive and not fucking on a ventilator. Make sure to let me know what you thought about the video and go ahead and comment how much supplies you have at your house, your general location, and your defenses for absolutely no fucking reason at all. And I will see you guys in the next one.